It's both the ways. While in this year we have seen Nifty hit all-time high, where dollar rupee hit all-time low. But IPOs are left behind. This is turning out to be a best 2025 year for the IPOs. If we look at here, we see that 94 companies have raised over 1.5 lakh crore in this particular year. If we look at the OFS and fresh issue ratio, we see that 63% were OFS, while the 37% of ratios were in terms of fresh issue for this particular year. Now, in terms of performance on listing day, we see that out of 94 listed IPOs, 64 were positive on the listing day, while the 30 IPOs were negative on the listing day, but this ratio changes going ahead. Now, if you look at overall the fresh ratio and OFS ratio, we see that OFS amount were the highest ever raised in this particular year. If you look at the overall trend, in 2025, we roughly raised 97,000 odd crores by just offer for sale. But in terms of fresh issue, we have raised roughly 57 odd crores in this particular year. When you look at the percentage-wise, this year is not actually the highest in terms of OFS amount. When you look at the percentage value, we see that in 2017, the OFS percentage, so the overall ratio was at 83. But in this particular, we said OFS percentage for FY25 stands at roughly 63 odd percentage. Now, if we look at the overall report card, how they have turned out to be, which were the best IPOs and the IPOs which were fared out to be negative in the streets. See, out of 64 IPOs that has opened in green on the opening day, we have seen that 4 of them have gained over 50% on the listing day, but 21 of them have gained over 20% on the listing day itself. Now, in terms of the negative IPOs, we have seen that IPOs open in red. We see that 6 IPOs have lost more than 10% on the opening day itself, while 2 IPOs have lost over 35% going forward. Now, if we see the best IPOs, which have given the best in the opening day, and the worst IPOs, we see that Ather Energy has gained the most in this particular year, gained over 56 odd percentage over 6 months, and over the year, it has gained over 110% in trade. While Quality Power, Alon, and Bellrise are a few of the other companies which have given the best performance so far in this particular year. But if we look at the ratio, IPOs are hit and miss, which have turned out to be in red, we see that something like Lakshmi Dental given 52% down on the listing day, while Gem Aromatics and then Highway Infra have lost nearly 47% so far in trade. But we also have an analysis where we have seen a turnaround performance, the IPOs which have turned around compared to how they were listed. Now, something like an Om Freight listed at nearly 36% negative on the listing day, but now is in positive, showing overall turnaround. Now, in terms of Ather, we see that company listed at nearly 6% negative on the listing day, but today it's roughly 120-130% up in trade. So all in all, we see mixed numbers when it comes to performance, but 2025 is turning out to be the best year so far. Given the first week of December, and we already have 94 IPOs open, and we have 6 more lined for the following month. It will be interesting to watch out how does this particular year turns out for overall issues.
Yep.